If you just bear with me, we're almost finished with this. Hey, you there? Hey, you there?
Yeah, hold on a second.
So sorry about that, guys. I keep getting thrown out of my own party. Having a little technical difficulties still. Trying to get this thing going. I'm no Joe Rogan or whoever, you know. People with like an awesome podcast where they got all kinds of probably some crazy tech and stuff. I'm doing the best I can. We don't typically have a whole lot of problems like this. Today is just seems to be kind of one of those days. But if you just bear with us, we're about done. But wait for Nocturnum to get back. But once again, if you want to check out any of our content or watch any of these podcast episodes or watch any of our Let's Play videos and stuff like that, we do have a YouTube channel. It's Story Mode Live Gaming. We have a Twitch stream channel, which is a story_mode_official. And we have Twitter page, it's at storymode_live. And then you can also email us directly at storymodegamesofficial@gmail.com. So feel free to reach out. Feel free to give us any feedback. What do you think of this crazy story? That's what I want to know. You know, what do you guys think? Leave some comments. Send us some emails. Let us know. Have you read it? Do you want to read it? Do you think it's too crazy? Do you think, you have any questions about it? Let us know.
I'm sorry, man. Life, like we've been doing this for quite some time now, and life just hitting me in the teeth. So, or not really in the teeth. It's just it's catching up. I got stuff to do.
I feel you, man. We're about done.
All right. No, I mean that was no disrespect to you whatsoever. I'm just saying, like, it's starting to get active. People are starting to wait. And people are like, all right, let's,
No, I mean, I get it. I do, and we keep getting getting invaded and getting kicked out of the party, and
all right.
It's just been one of those days.
Dark Souls is one of those games where it requires a little bit too much concentration.
Right. Yeah, I realize that now.
For sure. But you were saying?
So, T'Challa, Ross,
and a squawking velociraptor shows up with big ass teeth in a mechanical suit.
But T'Challa, Ross, and Brother Voodoo.
But get this, the velociraptor was T'Challa the whole time.
And T'Challa was a velociraptor the whole time. I'm actually a brood.
But wait, there's more.
This is really fun. You're gonna get a kick out of this.
All right.
So they're in New York, and they're like, we got to go back to Wakanda and figure out what's going on with Killmonger, because there's larger forces at play here. We gotta take care of this. So like, before they Brother Voodoo's like, I'll just teleport us there if that'll expedite things, and they're like, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Let's do this before they're literally like, let's do this before something crazy happens.
Like it ain't. Dude,
like before something else crazy happens.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, teach me to be that cool under that kind of stress. I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure he's already got gray hairs and shit, man.
Right.
Like, this dude's had a stroke and everything. It's a suit keeping him alive.
And then, guess what happens?
I don't know. Dormammu comes barreling in. Somebody from a completely different series.
What happens to every Marvel superhero at one point or another?
They lose their powers.
No.
I don't know.
We talked about this, and this happened to Deadpool.
They have an existential crisis.
Okay, so every single Marvel character ever, at some point in their series, will be doing something, and then in the middle of it, what do they hear?
Oh, okay, right. All right. So,
It's the Hulk.
Really? 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 Dude, I see the movie rendition shows him as an actual man most of the time, and I feel like in the comics he's just raising hell all across the world, one fucking country at a time, just constantly smashing. Here he is again, no business here, whatever.
I mean, they're in Harlem, but this is how loud the Hulk screams. They're in Harlem. Hulk is in Brooklyn. They're like, what was that? So they're like, are you kidding me? Seriously? Seriously?
That was swamp gas, bro.
So they're like,
Totally
we gotta go stop the Hulk. He's gonna kill someone. And the Hulk's rampaging through Brooklyn, just fucking shit up. But it's like you said, though, in the comics, like he is a man, but like, he gets pissed off. Like he'll be in Brooklyn or something, and somebody's like, "Hey, asshole!" like slaps him or so, or and hulks him out. The Hulk is one of the characters who's had his own series all these years, for almost 80 years. I mean, you can't have him not be the Hulk. He's gotta.
Right.
So Brother Voodoo teleports everyone to Brooklyn instead to stop the Hulk. And they find there's like this device on Hulk's shoulder, and they're like, what is that? And so T'Challa like jumps up on his back and like rips it out, and then they find that it's like basically a tracking device, and Killmonger put it on the Hulk, and basically what it does is it whenever the Hulk goes in a direction that Killmonger doesn't want him to go, he has like a predestined path, and when he deviates from that path, it like shocks him with electricity, keeping the Hulk where he wants him, which was to interfere with T'Challa.
Don't these guys have anything better to do? Fuck.
Right. So that one chick, that Queen Divine Justice chick, the activist teenager,
yeah,
she's there. And she's like, cause she's with T'Challa, and like Hulk's like rampaging. He picks up a car. He's gonna like smash T'Challa with the car. She's like, and so she's like, "Hey, what the hell?" And Hulk's like, "Huh?" She's like, "Look here, man. Don't you think the people of Brooklyn are downtrodden enough without having a big green giant come run through smashing their car? That's Mr. Robinson's car. That's the only way he's got to work. You should be ashamed of yourself." And he's like, so Hulk no smash Black Panther? And she's like, look, I'm not saying that. She's like, I'm all about free expression. You do you, baby. But don't hit him with that. And then the cops pull up, and she's like, hit him with that car.
Oh, shit. But, dude, like Marvel Comics series... Like, can we just see the Hulk order a pizza or something once in a while? Like, shit. Can we see Captain America actually drop his ego and play a game of Super Smash Brothers with his friends?
Right. Dude, me and Morecat were actually talking about that one day, and, like, that was something I was saying. I was like, dude, I want to see, like, some slice of life stuff in the movies. Right. Like, I want to see the Avengers in the movies. Captain America, Tony Stark, Hulk, Thor, Hawkeye, and Black Widow going grocery shopping together. That's what I want to see.
Wait, Tony Stark? How?
Iron Man. Well, I mean, yeah, now he's dead. Yeah, I'm just talking about in general. Like this is before all that when we had this conversation.
Hell, even just put a short in the movie before it starts. Like, here's a 20-minute short of them actually enjoying their lives and not,
Right, yeah, and like I just want to see them all grocery shopping as a group.
Huh?
Because I just think that would be hilarious. Imagine that group of people in a modern day grocery store. You have 2 super spies, a billionaire, a man out of time, the Hulk, and Thor grocery shopping. And me and Morecat came up with all these little tidbits of what they would get into in the grocery store. So Thor would be like, "Where's the L?" And it's aisle 8. Then to aisle 8 we shall go. Come, let us get the largest barrel. And then Hulk's gonna be accidentally bumping stuff, knocking things over.
Right.
And then I really just want to see Captain America.
In the floor.
And then also Captain America's from the 40s, so the prices are gonna rock his brain. It's I was sitting there $3.50 for a jar of peanut butter. This is ridiculous. No, Tony, I will not calm down. This is absurd. Who runs this place? Who's the shopkeep here? You, sir, are a Nazi. I know a Nazi when I see one, and you, my friend, are a Nazi.
Yes. Dude, that's pretty good.
Yeah, dude. I would love me and Morecat. We had that was one of our conversations years ago. We were talking about that. We had a whole we made the whole scene. It was awesome. But so the thing about the Hulk too is that even when he's the Hulk, there are still people that he likes and people that he doesn't like.
Right.
And so obviously because this chick actually talked to him like a person, he likes this teenage girl, this Queen Divine Justice chick. So she's talking to him and she convinces Hulk to leave with her. And she just playing mind games with him. Black Panther's we all just need to calm down. And she's like, "You hear that, Hulk? He's talking shit about you, man. That's messed up. Let's just bounce. Mm-hmm. We don't need this crap. You hungry? Let's go grab some burgers, man. Let's roll." And he's like, "Yeah, Hulk hungry," and picks her up and jumps off and they leave. And so everything kind of settles out. There was a big scene, and so they all kind of get together. They're like, "You know what? Let's not go to Wakanda just yet. Let's regroup. Let's go to bed. Let's eat something. Let's watch a movie. Let's just hang out for a minute."
Right.
And so they're all kind of hanging out. And
the pizza man was Rhino the whole time.
That would be awesome. Pizza's here. Boom. Rhino charges through the damn front door.
Right.
But no, Ross hears the Queen Divine Justice and his girlfriend.
What the hell's Wakanda doing right now without a king or a king?
Right, yeah. I know, right? Right.
What the hell? They're just okay.
Well, I mean, this is ever since he was teleported away, this has probably taken place across the span of 45 minutes. It's just a crazy turn of events. So but Ross hears that Queen Divine Justice and his girlfriend talking, and he overhears them talking about the fact that she was in a relationship with T'Challa several years ago.
Uh-oh.
But for his reaction to that, you will have to tune in next week.
Oh, man.
Because that's where we're going to leave it for today. Dude, next week, bring a pen.
Yeah, for sure.
And next... Well, next week is our giant size special, which is where all of this is going to cross over with what Deadpool is currently doing ever since we left him alone.
Awesome, dude. Looking forward to it.
Like I said, all this stuff takes place at the same time. Will T'Challa ever be able to just spend a day in his kingdom alone? Is Ross angry about an ancient relationship that doesn't really have any effect on his life right now?
How blue are T'Challa's balls, in fact? Because he obviously has no time to do anything else.
See, that's the secret. That's really what the heart-shaped herb does. Yeah, dude, like... I gotta say, like, I mean, like I said, I do enjoy the fact that somebody else is like, what? Like, because when I was reading this, I was the same way. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, I was splitting my attention between Dark Souls and what you were telling me. And then I realized very quickly, about halfway through the swamp, I'm not going to be able to do this. Like, I'm just not going to be able to divide my attention like this. I'm getting lost and sidetracked.
Right.
Who's that face sound now? That what's her? Did what? No. Definitely going to have to put more concentration into it.
And also, I mean, you know, where it's Black Panther, you know, it's very.
This is not at all what I expected. Let me be honest with you. This is the exact opposite of what I expected.
You were like, oh, it's just going to be Black Panther. You know, that's not going to have a lot going on.
I figured maybe he would be a loner or out like on a noble quest to better himself or something. I had no idea that he was dealing with like juggling 2 world wars and a global crisis here. I mean, not really. That was an over-exaggeration.
Right. Like getting constantly betrayed and then being like, ha, I knew you were going to betray me the entire time. Like,
right.
Getting killed, but not really. Like, but yeah, I mean, like,
getting captured and just saying, I'm just kidding, man.
Right.
Oh, we're gonna hire you. Nah, dude, I was joking. It's totally a joke. Here's a taser. That's not kidding.
Right. But that's what I love about Marvel, is that all the stories are so different from each other.
Dude, he tased his own stepbrother. Okay, well.
Well, I mean, he did attack him in the street, like, just to show off.
All right.
And then fund gangsters to help them hire Kraven the Hunter to attack him in the middle of a peaceful conversation with a crowd, just to show off. So yeah, I think he earned a tase. Yeah, he woke up like 40 seconds later. Yeah, he like almost immediately woke up. Dude, what's actually funny about that is in that scene when Thor gets shot and gets knocked out, when he falls down, he lands on top of Everett Ross. So Ross is like pinned to the ground during that entire scene under Thor.
So no, this guy is just getting some shit, dude.
Yeah, he's getting chased by an elephant. Actually, this whole story is told from his point of view, by the way.
Oh, really?
I didn't want. I left a lot of stuff out because, you know, we're just kind of doing. We're just like doing the synopsis and. But, like I was saying, you know, that's what I love about Marvel is like all the stories are so different. Like, you know, we did Inhumans, which was kind of like a, you know, secluded, kind of off the reservation from the regular ongoings of Marvel, but it was like a big political thriller, you know.
Wasn't the Russian mafia involved in that shit too, though?
Yes,
if I remember right?
Yes, they were. Yes.
Dude, these guys, what are these guys, like a world superpower now?
The Russian mob is a huge player in Marvel. There's always someone in the Russian mob.
But did that stem from like the time period in which it was written?
Yeah. Yeah, it was the 90s. The Ruskies were the big bad guys in the 90s. That was when, you know, that's like you know, nowadays in movies and stuff, it's the Middle East. You know, back then, pre 9/11, it was Russia. And,
all right, passenger.
Yeah, all right, passenger. But then we did like Deadpool, which is just like this happy-go-lucky murder spree all the time. And then but yeah, Black Panther, man, is a very convoluted espionage spy thriller with a little bit of political intrigue thrown in as well.
Right on.
But it's very
That's definitely not what I expected from Black Panther, because his portrayal in the movie. Actually, there were some subtle moments in the movies where he showed his political prowess. I remember a scene comes to mind where he's in there and she wow, I really suck with names right now. My brain is mashed potatoes at this point. Help me out here. Black Widow was like, how do you expect to get out of here? And then he was so politically connected that he just got released while they were sitting there talking. I don't know.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was in Civil War.
I just watched these movies like a couple of days ago. Oh yeah. Now I remember.
Yeah.
Now I remember. Yeah, after they caught Black Panther, Winter Soldier.
Yeah, she was trying to chastise him and about learning about how the game is played, and he's like, "You're right. I have so much to learn." And
yeah, he's like taking his own handcuffs off. Like, I'm good. Like, you're right. I do have a lot to learn. You're good. I'll be back for another lesson later.
See, but now I get the subtlety of that joke and why it was portrayed. See, before I had no idea. Like, now I get it.
Right.
Actually. Because the Black Panther is one slick son bitch.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, he's always a step ahead. Always. Like, all right, we got you in an alley. We got a gun to your head. We got everyone, tied up. And he's like, well, what you didn't take into account is these secret motorcycles that I had stored here for the past 13 years.
Oh, and 20 years ago, I invested, like when I was just a wee little baby, I invested in this chain corporation that you got these people chained up with. That's my design. Watch this. Click a button. They just pop off.
Dude, that's Black Panther. That is very accurate, actually. Like, he does stuff like that all the time. It's like, this bomb you have on me? I own the company that makes the wires.
Right.
But yeah, you're definitely. So we're gonna need to choose a game. It requires a little less real estate in our brains for the next
right.
for the next 3 parts of this.
To be honest with you, man, we could just do Dark Souls, but only like PvP or dueling or something.
I actually thought of that earlier. Like, we could just like duel each other, just a whole bunch of times.
Well, we're about to get to Panther Sullivan, and after that, you'll be able to use regular PvP as well. There's designated areas in the game, unintentionally designated, but designated by the player community to be a PvP hotspot. These are the 3 places you want to go to PvP, basically, and that's what everybody decided to do. So,
right.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're definitely going to want to have a pen and pad and have your brain cranked up to 11 next week.
Hell yeah. Don't get me wrong. Normally, I would happily be able to follow along with you, but like I said, my brain is tired, my body is tired.
Right.
My nutritional value right now is crap. I've been eating like canned foods for a week now, so
right.
I had no caffeine in my system, so it was basically you got roughly 37%.
Right. I feel. But I mean, also, it is a crazy story too. Like, every 5 minutes, somebody's attacking from out of nowhere. Somebody's like, "You're not even a Black Panther villain. Like, what are you doing?" You're like, "You're a spider. Right. You're a Spider-Man villain." But,
Dormammu is Dormammu Marvel or DC?
Yes. No, he's Marvel.
Oh, see, when I said Dormammu, I was trying to be like, I got DC timeline just popped into Marvel. Like, hey, I'm here to get you.
No, he's Marvel. He was in the Doctor Strange movie.
Oh yeah, that's how the hell did I forget that? I guess
Dormammu, I'm here to bargain. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a really weird bargain. He could have done a lot more with that time stone. Like, the way he manipulated it, that specific set of events was an interesting choice, to say the least.
Right. I'm just going to stick him in a loop to where I annoy him.
Right, but he wasn't even... Dormammu wasn't in a loop, was he? I think it was just Doctor Strange himself.
Yeah, it was just himself. Like,
yeah. Like, dude, how many times did you die?
He's like, Dormammu, I'm here to bargain. And he's just like, eventually he's just like killing him over and over and over again. Stab, stab, stab. He's like, fine, I'll bargain. So, just gotta ask, you know, so what do you think of this story so far?
What do you mean?
Like, you like it? You think it's too
crazy?
Like...
I definitely do like it, but I don't have I feel like this man never gets any quality sleep.
Right.
I feel like the intrigue alone is like I feel like a whole team of people. You know, it almost feels like a team of people were coming up with these ideas.
They were.
Not just a person. I was being sarcastic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
It almost felt as if a team of people were just putting different shaped puzzles together.
Right.
And all the spare pieces just got thrown in. Like, all right, so this is left over from this. Throw it here. This is left over. I mean, I'm not criticizing. I actually like it, though. It keeps me on my toes. It's definitely...
Yeah.
It's not predictable, that's for sure.
Right. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point a T-Rex did actually attack Black Panther.
Yeah. Well, the two main takeaways that I come out of this with right now is Black Panther is seriously going to hate America.
Yeah.
Okay. Because every time he goes there, everybody's trying to kill him.
Right.
And the second thing is, dude, you need to start killing people. Because this coming back later, shit's getting old.
Which, Black Panther isn't completely against killing.
Right.
He's not for it, per se. But he'll do it if it's necessary. Right. But he is against killing people while he's in America.
Right.
Because he's a diplomat. And he doesn't want to abuse his diplomatic immunity.
That's quite noble.
Yes.
That wasn't actually one of the takeaways I had, by the way. I know I didn't really want him to start killing people, but like just the amount of attention this guy gets.
Right.
The amount of resources deployed against him. I mean, dude, you got the Russian mob, the U.S. government, and Wakanda all coming at you. Like, dude, what do you do?
Plus, you got Killmonger hiring a bunch of low-level supervillains.
No, that's what I meant by Wakanda. Like,
oh, okay.
Like Killmonger
yeah.
having the resources of being there.
Yeah. And the whole time, he's just hanging out at home. But also, interesting fact is that, like I was saying, this is part of the Marvel Knights label. Which, when they first came up with the Marvel Knights label, the entire idea of it was, these will be standalone stories. They're in the 616 universe, so the continuity is there. This is canon, but we'll just be able to kind of have fun with it and not be tied down to, like, what are we going to do next. 12 issues in, Marvel decided to take the Marvel Knights label off of this and make it the official Black Panther book.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, like, if you actually have the comics, the first 12 issues have the MK, the Marvel Knights, and then issue 13 is just Marvel Comics Black Panther. Because at the time, he didn't have a series. He had a series in the 70s that ran for a long time. But then, like, a lot of people, because, like, the way Marvel works, it's kind of like a revolving door. Like, there'll be some people that have series right now, and then, like, when they end, they'll bring in other people for their own series for a little while, and then they'll just kind of, like, cycle stuff out. But then you got people that are... Yeah, then you have, like, your mainstays that are always going to have books. Spider-Man's always going to have, like, 3 to 5 ongoing books at one time. X-Men are always going to have 2 to 3. The Avengers are always going to have one. Iron Man usually has one.
Right. But what I'm saying is, you've got a literary... At its base, you have a literary entertainment platform that has persisted within the same realm without... for what? Since 50, 60 years now?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
80. Marvel is 80 years old.
Oh my God! Really?
Since the 1940s.
Wow. I wonder what a pristine comic from the 40s.
Dude.
Talking about like car money, huh?
Like when we got to the point to where it was like T'Challa only joined the Avengers to spy on them.
Yeah.
It was like, if you want to read the comic where Captain America invites T'Challa to join the Avengers, take a second mortgage out on your house and buy Captain America volume number 100. From like 19, whatever. Like it's old. But yeah, man, it's crazy. But like, they started out in the 40s and they've just added characters, new characters, every so often. And like in the 60s when they added Spider-Man and X-Men and the Avengers and all them in. And then they added more characters in the 70s and more in the 80s and more in the 90s and more in the 2000s and more in the 2010s. They got new characters coming out now.
Yeah. You got to get me in on some X-Men, man. You probably asked me this before, but in case you didn't, if you want to know what my favorite concept in the Marvel universe is, it's definitely X-Men and mutants.
Let me tell you
Mutants is my absolute favorite because it's limitless. It depends on your genes and your own genes in real life. Your physiological being is dependent almost entirely on your genes. And it's really cool to know that if it mutated a certain way, what if we did have a gene that was a superpower gene?
Yeah.
And what makes you will turn into a power. What would you be if you were a mutant?
Right.
What would your power be? What would my power be with my genes right now? What would my power be? Probably something ridiculous like Blob Man or the Water Guy or whatever, like from the X-Men movies. Oh, hey, what can you? I can turn into water and die. You want to see?
I can do it once. I was kind of holding out for Y2K, but
right.
But actually, so I just should tell you, and anyone who's watching this, because anyone who's heard me talk about this has heard, my favorite character is Spider-Man, and my favorite group is the X-Men. I love the X-Men. And I'm really big on the mutants. That was the big thing with me in the 90s and stuff, was the X-Men comics and the Spider-Man comics. And so people are probably wondering, like, why hasn't he done a podcast on X-Men or Spider-Man? Why is he doing Inhumans and Deadpool and Black Panther? And that's because I have Spider-Man and X-Men related things in the works. But when we do those, dude, it's going to be... yeah, you better... Dude, it's going to be sick. Because to do a small series like this on those just would not do them justice. Like, the X-Men or Spider-Man stuff that we end up doing in the near future is going to be absolutely amazing. Like you said, you better strap in. Like, it's going to be fucking awesome.
So, another thing, though, just while we're talking about it, I don't know if you've asked me this question again before, but I'm thinking, for some reason, it's clear in my head now. I believe you've asked me this, and I probably answered wrongly, because you're like, well, who's your favorite Marvel character of all time? Or what superpower out of all the Marvel superpowers would you pick? And I have a very affirmed answer for you, because it is the one I've thought about the most. And it's pretty typical, but still, the ideas I have around it would be phenomenal. And that is Magneto. I love that, man. I love how powerful Magneto can get. I love manipulation of metals. Metal is the most important resource in our modern world. And, dude, you can do so many things with it. And it would just be fun, man. It's like telekinesis, but limitless, I'm not going to strain to just throw a bus at you. I'm just like, I'm
going to rip it apart and form all the pieces into Egyptian hieroglyphic shapes that are serrated, and I'm going to throw them at you.
Right.
Like, he could do whatever.
Not to mention, if he has full manipulation of metal, I mean, how fast are we talking? Like, how fast? He could throw a bus at you at Mach 7, dude.
Right.
I mean, do you have any idea how much energy that would have?
Dude, he could pull all the screws out of the surrounding buildings and make a bus and then throw it at you. Like,
Yeah. But no, I was thinking about it not so much as a world domination thing, but also think about how much money you could make, me and Magneto, dude. You are the walking factory. Oh, you need a car produced? Here you go. Boom.
yeah.
There's
Imagine working in like a
$30,000.
local stamping plant. They're like, oh, this drill bit broke.
Right.
There. I made you a new one out of the floor.
Right? No, not that. No, I imagine myself sitting there by myself, just running this whole building, just everything
Right.
in it. Just like,
Yeah. Yeah, dude, for real. Also, I do love Magneto. Magneto's one of the greatest villains of all time. He is
Right.
amazing. I've never identified with a terrorist so much. Like,
oh yeah, dude. Same here, man. Like Magneto was my Thanos before I knew about
Yeah.
Thanos. Right?
and that's the one thing. Like Thanos is a bit of a sociopathic, tyrant.
Right.
But dude, Magneto's a terrorist. Hands down, like he is a terrorist. He was like, I am sick of the subjugation of my people.
Right.
We are Homo superior. We are the next step in the genetic evolution, and you are going to be replaced. He's sick of it because he was subjugated and brutalized as a Jew in
Right.
Germany, and now it's happening again as a mutant. And he's like, I'm not having it. No, it's not happening. And also, I'm not going to go on like a Hobic thing, but also kind of a fun fact is in the comics, Magneto gets so ridiculous that the governments of the world give him his own country to shut him up. It's called Genosha, the paradise for mutants.
That's actually kind of
Yeah.
noble.
All
Cool.
all mutants are welcome. No humans allowed.
I mean, they wanted segregation and control. There it is.
Yeah. But my favorite mutant is Gambit.
Ah,
I love Gambit.
really?
I
think
love
its
Gambit.
portrayal in the movie was a little.
Oh,
bit
it was
lackluster.
trash. It was trash. That guy sucks. I don't even know that guy's name, but he was a terrible Gambit. I was so mad. I was so mad that I'm still angry. Matter of fact, that to this day we've not had a decent Gambit in a movie. That is criminal.
I figured we would agree on that.
It's criminal, dude. He's one of the coolest mutants around. He grew up in New Orleans as a thief, a pickpocket, and and in New Orleans they actually had like these different criminal guilds. They had like a thieves guild and an assassins guild, and he was like a high-ranking member of the thieves guild in New Orleans, and then he mutated and was given the ability to charge objects with kinetic energy. And I just think it's awesome because his solution to this is I'm going to walk around with about 30 decks of cards on me all the time.
Dude, you haven't played Breath of the Wild yet, right?
No.
Well, there's an ability in Breath of the Wild called stasis, right?
Right.
What happens is you cast it, for lack of a better word. It's a technology actually, but you cast it on an object, say a stone, a log, any object that can be moved, and while it is in stasis, it is actually frozen in time, and all kinetic force applied to it will immediately enact upon that object once that time unfreezes. So basically, you freeze a stone and you hit it like 7 times with your sword, and all of that kinetic energy hits it as soon as it unfreezes. Boom, launches it. Is that what Gambit does?
Pretty much.
That's cool as hell.
Like pretty much Gambit.
Actually, to be honest with you, his portrayal in the movie, I didn't even know what his power was. Honestly, I couldn't tell. I couldn't make it out. I'm not quite sure what it is you're doing.
Right. No, Gambit has only one power, and that's that he has the ability to charge any object by touch with kinetic energy. And he uses cards because he's good at throwing cards.
Right.
So he throws the cards and they explode on impact because they're infused with kinetic energy. And he's also very good at staff fighting with a bow staff. So he uses the bow staff to fight, and then if the fight gets real, he's like, okay, time to get some energy in this staff. And like he'll jump up in the air and just like slam it down on the ground, boom! Everybody goes flying, like dude, throw a bunch of cards out, like dude, he's killer. I love him, and he's in love with a woman who can't be touched.
Right.
Like, and I always love that because everybody treats Rogue like such a pariah, like don't touch her, she'll kill you. And Gambit always walks in and he's like, Mon chéri. I just thought I'd ask you for the night on the town. But now that since you brought up the whole mutants thing, and we talked about the mutants and Spider-Man thing, I'm gonna kind of lay out a very brief, somewhat kind of like a hint of things to come. Okay, so what we've been doing so far is, remember I was saying that we're starting in the Marvel Knights era.
Yeah.
Well, basically, it's being broken up, and these first few series we have done is usually referred to as the Marvel Knights debut, which were the first ones to come out: Deadpool, Inhumans, Black Panther. We're going to get into some. We're going to get into like some Daredevil stuff and Elektra and some really cool stuff down the road. And then after we do the Marvel Knights debut, the next thing is going to be the we're going to call it, I guess, Avengers Assemble or something. You know, it's going to be all the Avengers interactions in the Marvel Knights era. And then after Avengers Assemble, it's going to be Mutants and Spiders.
Nice.
And so we're going to see how they're faring during all this stuff in the Marvel Knights era.
Nice. Well, all right, Benicio, I've got to go see a man about a car.
I feel you. Stay frosty.
What?
I said stay frosty, bruh.
Oh, no, that was a real thing. I actually do.
Right.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I will be back on your next one, or whenever you want to have me back.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Man. Yeah. Hey, gray as hell, eat cornbread.
All right. Always.
Yes, I love me some cornbread.
All right.
Take her easy.
See you. Yes, guys, that was our introduction to the Black Panther series of our Marvel Knights debut section of our coverage of the Marvel Knights era. So, I know it's been a little crazy. I do apologize. We had a lot of technical difficulties today. We had a couple of speed bumps along the way, but we got it done. So that's always cool. We got a lot of stuff in the works still. I'm going to be doing some Let's Plays on The Last of Us. The Realist and myself are still working on our couch co-op compilation. That's going to be coming. And we're going to be back here next week for another installment. It's going to be the Black Panther Part 2 discussion. And it is going to cross over into Deadpool with all the things we've seen Deadpool doing. What's he doing now? What's he doing since he found out that he was not Wade? So we're going to see what that's going, and that's going to cross over with T'Challa. So next week is our giant size special. You're going to want to check that out. And if you want to watch any of our content, you want to see any of our stuff, you want to reach out, offer some feedback, give us some suggestions, that type of thing. You can check out our YouTube channel, Story Mode Live Gaming. You can check out our Twitch stream channel, which is story_mode_official. Or you can check out our Twitter page, where on our Twitter page we actually post links to all the videos on YouTube and Twitch. So you can follow us on Twitter at @storymode_live. Or you can reach out to us on any of those avenues, or you can email us directly at storymodegamesofficial@gmail.com. And can't wait to hear from you. I hope you guys enjoyed this. But as always, press start.